Of Q broadcast, it's taking the world by storm. People are cutting the cord to their high cable bills and moving away from streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and others for something better. Q broadcast. For just $60 a month, you'll get access to every channel you could ever want, including HBO, Cinemax, and Stars. And the best part, there are no contracts, no hidden fees, and you're free to cancel anytime. With Q Broadcast, you can enjoy streaming live TV, movies, and top series on up to 5 devices at once. Whether you're at home or on the go, Q Broadcast makes sure your entertainment is always at your fingertips. Imagine being able to watch all your favorite channels from anywhere, anytime, without any restrictions. We're talking about thousands of movies, hundreds of TV series, and a huge library of live channels, all in one place. And don't forget video on demand and pay-per-view events. Those are included at no extra cost, so you'll never miss a big event again. Now, take a second and think about your current cable bill. You're probably paying anywhere between $100 and $300 every month, locked into long-term contracts and hit with surprise rate increases. With Q Broadcast, that's a thing of the past. It's just $60 a month. No contracts, no extra fees, no hidden costs, and no price hikes. Why juggle multiple subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, and cable when Q Broadcast gives you everything you need in one convenient package? People everywhere are switching to Q Broadcast, saving money and getting more content than ever before. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description and sign up for Q Broadcast today. Just $60 a month, no contracts, no hidden fees. It's time to take control of your entertainment and start streaming smarter.
We live in a world where men are told it's harmless. It's just entertainment. But let's stop lying to ourselves. Pornography destroys. It weakens your spirit. It dulls your drive. And it robs you of what real intimacy is supposed to be. Every click is a step away from the man you're supposed to be. We can't call ourselves leaders if we are slaves to a screen.
As someone that is prior service, I know all about discipline. And discipline isn't out there, it's within your mind. Porn rewires your brain, weakens your will, wrecks all of your relationships. It doesn't just stay on a screen, it invades your marriage, your confidence, and your actual purpose. As men, if we don't learn to discipline ourselves, we'll be ruled by our impulses. Now, it is time to stand up and take control before this silent war takes more than you're willing to lose.
Real men don't hide in the shadows of shame. We step up and we protect what's ours. We fight for our wives and kids, our own hearts. Twitter isn't just an app, it's a weapon. It's a tool used to break free and start living like the man that you're meant to be. The battle's here and it starts with you. You can stop living in shame and you can break free today.
Here at the Anomic Age, we know that these times of uncertainty are stressful. It is incumbent upon all of us to put our fears first and bow down to government tyranny. Gone are the days of freely leaving your home, working, and social interactions. In exchange for safety, we will trade liberty. At the Anomic Age, we understand. However, just in case you want to get off your knees and stop being a sniveling coward, check out the John Age Project at anomicage.com.
Meet Ann Morrissey, who is here with her daughter, Dareth. Dareth is 17 years old. Mrs. Morrissey, I don't have to tell you that most parents would be extremely depressed if their daughter came home one day looking like this. I assume that was your response. Shock, anger, depression? What was it?
I was extremely angry. I really went bananas.
Yeah, how old was she when this happened?
Possibly 13, 14 years old.
We're talking like it's a disease, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah. How did she explain it to you, Mrs. Morrison?
there was very poor communication until we went into counseling. And it almost broke up our family. But through counseling and Serena, I can understand it better.
What do you understand?
That she feels like she doesn't want to be like everyone else, and she wants to be her own person. And through the dress code and her lifestyle, she's expressing this. It doesn't conform with our rules, but we're learning to cope, and it's a very, very difficult thing. Extremely difficult.
Dareth, let's let you talk for yourself. You're from Long Beach, California.
I just can't handle being like everybody else because that's what everybody else wants, you know. Just because somebody else does something does not mean that I have to do it. You know, I have my own morals and ideals, and I go by them.
Are you drug-free, Dareth?
Yes, I am.
Is this a political statement then? Do you have some misgiving about the society that you see?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, you know. A lot of the people are really aware of what's going on, you know, and I don't like it, you know. There's a lot of problems. I don't like the way society is based.
What bothers you? Give us some of the misgivings you have.
The rich, the poor, the people starving, the wars, you know. Why can't, you know, everybody just get along and just live their life?
Here at the Anomic Age, we know that these times of uncertainty are stressful. It is incumbent
Selling real and Chevy.
Propagating truth in a world of lies. You are listening to the John Age Project.
Trust no one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
You found it. You're here. You're headlong down the runaway train that is the Anomic Age, and I am your host, John Age, hailing proudly from the coastal plains of the Old North State. I'll be taking you into the dark side of the AM this evening. I'll be your tour guide as we take a somewhat satirical journey down the path of murder, destruction, mayhem, and the extermination of human life on this planet. A forced march into obsolescence thrust upon us by a global Luciferian death cult of pedophiles. Check out anomicage.com. If you've not already done so, please like all the likes. Subscribe to all the subscriptions. PayPal.me/anomicage. Patreon.com/anomicage as well. Those are the best ways that you can help me. We got the Cash App. We got the Patreon link. We got the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee and so much more. It's right there at anomicage.com. More updates to the stupid apps. All the apps are working swimmingly. We've updated everything and kissed the ring of Apple for the 100th blipping time in the last few days. So everything should be working just swell. Same thing for the Android app as well. You got the free newsletter. Subscribe to that down there. All that right there at anomicage.com. So if you can do no more, you can do that. You could absolutely go to anomicage.com and make it happen. Make it do what it do. Whew, my gracious goodness sakes alive. So much to get into this evening, folks. So much to get into. So here's the deal. Here's what we are going to get into. Let's see if we can pop this up on the screen. Yes, we can. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Praise Jesus. Put this one on the big screen. My God, we're going to put it on the big screen. Navigating the holiday hell. That's exactly right, folks. It's exactly what we're going to talk about this evening. We're going to talk about, tackle, and otherwise cover extensively how to properly navigate the holiday hell that is this most glorious time of year. So there's so many other things that we could talk about. If we got any time at the latter 15 of the show, I might talk about some of these things. But to be quite honest, to be quite frank, to be real with you, I just don't care. I could not possibly give a Rudy Poo rat's backside less about the buffet of buffoonery, the cacophony of, there's no way to clean that up. I'll just stop there. Creepy. There we go. I cleaned it up a little bit. Cacophony of creepy. Oh boy, and the cavalcaded turds that is what you are seeing all over social media. I guess if you still watch the mainstream baloney, you'll see it there too. And of course, if you watch all of those, the usual suspects, the ones that we covered in the last episode, the what was it called? The controlled. No, excuse me. The controlled bunch. Yeah. They've covered all this as well. So, I mean, you know what I should be covering. Wink, wink, wink. I guess to get all the likes, to get all the views, I should have covered the usual suspect, horse pucky, right? So what we could have covered, but shan't. Candace meeting with Erica Kirk. Oh my goodness, what a big bunch of BS that was bound to be. We also could have covered the Brown University shooting in Rhode Island, where some sort of Middle Eastern guy and the president of the Republicans Club on campus, a young lady, both killed, 9 injured. The person's still on the loose, but don't worry, because Kash Patel and his honeypot are making the rounds for podcasts that you've never heard of, talking about stuff you never cared about. So, you know, we're not looking for the shooter. We're doing the usual suspect thing. We're tackling the big issues on podcasts that nobody cares about. It's just, this is what I was talking about last week with the control bunch. When you see these big name people, and if you want to call them big name, they're not. They're just run of the mill filth. When you see these big name people on these random podcasts, you know blame well what's up, don't you? Do we need to add some more boxes to the control bunch? What was the same thing with the Sydney Sweeney thing from like a month ago, where she showed up on this, again, some interview, no one's ever heard of this person. And then all of a sudden they land this ginormous, in the eyes of the mainstream morons, ginormous interview. And I'm like, what? Who the bleep are these people in the first place? And how do they get these interviews? And why would they get them in the first place? And why would anyone watch them? You know, it's just so weird. So weird. But anyway, we probably won't be covering any of that. So if you were looking for that, you know, go back to the Control Bunch episode, and I guarantee you all the people on the Control Bunch are covering all that stuff. And I'm sure it's groundbreaking for someone. But things that I just couldn't give a rat's backside about. Oh, I didn't talk about the other obvious one that I had to talk about, or I wouldn't be cool. The shooting in Australia. And you got to look at the words, because the Bondi shooting, just like Pam Bondi that's doing absolutely butt kiss. Why doesn't he just bring back Bill Barr? Why, man? Bill Barr was a do nothing, deep state, second, third generation. Bring back Bill Barr, for God's sakes. Bring back Bill. But anyway, the Bondi shooting, just like Pam Bondi. And it was a Hanukkah event that was shot up by, I guess they want you to believe this is Muslims. I don't flipping care, and I don't really know. But, that's the newest thing. Because the Brown University thing got swept under the rug quick, because it was a white girl and a conservative. So nobody cared about her at all. But the Jews, holy shay-shays. We got a couple rabbis getting capped in Australia at the Bondi Beach or what have you, and we got to make a big hoopla about that. Who was that other boob? Do I have him pulled up? I think I do. Let me see. Oh, friggity flop here. Let's see this guy. There, this guy. This joker. Can we put him on screen? No, okay, we don't want that. This guy. Arsen Ostrowski. Is this the guy that was involved in the shooting thing? Yeah, here he is. He's the crisis actor that they had out there. He was the same boob that was involved, or at least seen on the scene at 9/11. So, yeah, that guy, part of the greatest ally bunch, crisis actor. He was out there doing a selfie with like blood-covered face, and everybody believed it, I'm sure. Holy she-sheds. What else? We got BB coming out talking about America wouldn't be anything. We wouldn't be here without our greatest ally. It's just good stuff, folks. Good stuff. So if you're into all that baloney, find another show. What we're going to talk about this evening is this. Navigating the holiday hell. Because I think it's far more important, as I've said so many times on this show, look intrinsically, not extrinsically. Look inside, not outside. Look in thyself. To thine own self be true, and look within. Don't look to your neighbors. Don't look to your friends. Don't look at your coworkers. Don't look at those morons on social media. Don't look at the influencers. Look in. Look within. Look within. I'll say it again. Look within. You got to. Put down all the self-help books. Stop screaming and streaming and viewing and following all this horse pucky all over social media. Instagram's just awash with this kind of crap. There's always some like self-righteous idiot that's got it all figured out, and in 20 seconds or less, they're going to tell you how to figure it all out. And then you follow their page. There's 20 more seconds on this one, 20 more seconds. It's the same mess. But you don't need any of that, folks. I can sum it up for you real quick. Stop looking extrinsically. Look intrinsically. Inside thyself. So that's what you got to do, man. You got to look within. Look within. And focus your energy on thyself. Focus your energy on thyself. I'll say it 3, 4 more times if I have to. I don't care. So that is really what people need to do. And I bring all this up because the holiday hell that is upon us is a great time to recognize the fact that you need to focus on yourself and to really remind people, hey, stop this hoopla of horse. Focus on yourself. Please focus on yourself. Because there's so much to distract you out there. There's so much to distract you from the introspection. And I've really thought about this so much lately that our entire society is really geared towards distraction. It's geared towards speeding you up in everything that you do. It's meant to speed you up in the workplace, in the home, and the holidays is like the zenith of this sort of horse manure. I hate the holidays so much. And let me give you another one now, because someone's not going to buy this, that I'm being real with you on this one. Here, let's see if we can put this one. Take away the gingerbread man. Here we go. Might need to get a little bigger on this one. Let's give you a rundown on all the horse pee that you've got to sift through every month of the year. So January, we're not too far from that crap. We got January 1st, New Year's Day. Oh boy. That's kind of the big one for January. But don't worry, in February, nobody gives a rat's backside about Groundhog Day because they haven't figured out a way to profit from it or otherwise screw people out of more money on Groundhog Day. But you got Valentine's Day, another complete horse pucky holiday made up a bunch of garbage to screw people out of money. You got St. Patrick's Day. That's really only applicable if you're a bunch of drunks. I mean, even the Irish, I don't really give a rat's too much about St. Patrick's Day anymore. But they've, just like Cinco de Mayo, they've Americanized it into just a drunken holiday of trash. So if you're into that, you can urinate away some more money on St. Patrick's Day. April, we got Estar. You got to celebrate Estar and sacrifice your kids to Moloch and really bring in the spring solstice or the summer solstice, which is really right around the corner. So that's really what that's all about. Of course, the Christians want to say, well, it's now Jesus's birth and blah, 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 Easter bunnies and crosses and green grass and all that. No, don't be stupid. It's Estar. That's what it's all about. So that's what's going on in April. Speaking of Cinco de Mayo, you got Cinco de Mayo and Mother's Day. Those are really the only big days that people celebrate in America. Cinco de Mayo, ironically enough, has nothing to do with American heritage and really very little to do with Mexican heritage, but it's just another day for drunk trash to be drunk trash. So that's what's up. Then you got Mother's Day, another day to suck your money away. And then you got June. You got Father's Day, another day to suck your money away. And then you've got Juneteenth, another joke level made up holiday by a bunch of morons. That's not even a real thing, but I guess we've adopted that. I believe that was under Chairman Biden, if not Chairman Trump. I can't recall. July 4th, Independence Day. That's the day that Americans make believe that they're actually a free country and make believe that we actually have rights and freedom and we can have free speech and all that. It's a bull butter made up holiday that really has nothing to do with our current society. So that's what's going on. Another day for drunk trash to be drunk trash. That's really what July 4th is all about. Labor Day, a communist-based holiday. It's really just a day for people to not work. So I'm all for that. Octubre, we're into Halloween. So all the Christians get to wag their finger and tell everyone how bad they are for celebrating this pagan holiday while still celebrating all the rest of the pagan holidays. And going by the Gregorian calendar, which is all pagan. Days of the week, months of the year, pagan, pagan, pagan. But nevertheless, at the end of October, all the Christians get to wag their finger at those people that celebrate another pagan holiday that they don't like. So that's what's going on. Halloween, I believe that is like the second biggest spending day of the year next to the Christmas crap. So it's really turned into a big commercial extravaganza. It wasn't supposed to be, but that's what it is now. Noviembre, tenemos Thanksgiving. Kind of a meaningless holiday because they haven't, again, figured out how to profit from it. Kind of like Groundhog Day. The only big profiteering that used to go on was Black Friday. And I think most people have figured out that that's a big scam, hustle, dodge, and a con. So nobody even messes with that anymore. After all, who needs to leave their house? Because you can do everything online. So Thanksgiving, pretty much a waste of time day. And then we got December. We got Christmas, of course. Christmas, up your bleep. And then you've got Hanukkah and Kwanzaa, another made-up holiday by some jailbird about 30, 40, what was it, 40 years ago? Maybe in the 40 range. That's when Kwanzaa was another joke-level made-up holiday like Juneteenth. So I think I have stomped all over your hopes and dreams, maybe, or just told you the truth. That's what we do around here, folks. Propagating truth in a world of lies. It's not pandering to your feelings in a world of sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows everywhere. That's not what I'm all about. I'm about the realness. So if you ain't into the realness, that's okay. Like I said, look at the Controlled Bunch show, the previous episode of this one. It'll give you a whole list of people that you can check out. Anyway, back to the point. We got to talk about how we can possibly navigate this joke level BS holiday that is Christmas, because this one's kind of like the trifecta. You got Thanksgiving, which no one gives a rat's about, and then you're thrown into the hoopla of Christmas, and then New Year's, and then Valentine's Day. It's just a never-ending fun ride on the railway to, And I saw someone making like an absolutely hilarious comment the other day. I mean, hilarious because it was such a bunch of horse pee. But this is what I've touched on in a previous episode, I believe, where I said, it's hard for me not to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I can listen to somebody and go along with like 99% of what they're saying. But if that 1% is just such blasphemous BS, then I'm done. I'm like, okay, well, it was great until that. And then that was just such a bunch of horse pee. I couldn't even get behind it anymore. It's like Alex Jones, like 99% on point, but then you're still backing Trump, and then you're still saying there's no connection to Israel to anything. Like, okay, buddy, I'm good, but I'm gone. I mean, I'm not even going to touch on other people, but I saw this on AJ's out on the social media the other day, where he was coming out against people, the right, the bad right. Again, the people on the right that were bad because they were besmirching our greatest ally and aligning with Muslim filth. And I'm like, man, you're missing the point, AJ. I know you're missing the point, and you know you're missing the point, but you're doing this to add derision and division. So the real deal, Alex, is that there is an awakening. There is a noticing going on. And some would argue that, well, if all this is actually occurring all over social media, this quote unquote noticing, it's definitely being fueled by they to divide people. And I would probably go along with that. I do believe, yeah, there's definitely a noticing. And I would say that a lot of that is probably intentional, because nothing happens on social media, nor the mainstream media, nor the alternative wink wink media, without there being some big funding behind it. So yeah, I'll buy that one. But where I believe Alex is wrong is in saying that the people that are not for our greatest allies are somehow aligning with Muslims. No, you're missing the point there, AJ. You see, you can not agree with Muslims and you can not agree with our greatest ally. See how that works? So, I mean, just because I disagree with Methodists, that does not mean that I align myself with Baptists. Is that making sense yet? So I can not agree with the Heaven's Gate cult, and I can also not agree with Scientologists. So just because I choose one doesn't mean I also have to be in bed with the other. I mean, it's just total BS. But it's that binary opposition, the way of thinking that the media and they have you in the palm of their hands. Like, if you can buy into that BS, then they've got you, buddy. They've got you hook, line, and sinker. So back to the obvious points here. Navigating the holiday hell that is this most glorious time of year. So what they've gotten people to buy into is that Christmas is somehow Jesus's birthday, and it's not Saturnalia. It has nothing to do with the winter solstice. And they've also, like, I'll throw out the Jeremiah part where it says don't bring in a tree with lights and tinsel and all that. Yeah, all that stuff. And believe me, I couldn't care less if you bring in a tree or a painted goat into your house. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't mean anything to me. See, here's the deal, folks. Those things only have meaning if you assign them meaning. So I don't have a problem with people bringing in some stupid tree. I don't have a problem with people bringing in a stupid tree because most people have no clue what the symbolism or the pagan ideology of that even is. So, I mean, you're not doing it consciously, okay? So, I mean, for Pete's sake, you could have, in my opinion, you could have a Ouija board wallpaper. And unless you are, like lighting some candles and breaking out a planchette on your wall, it doesn't mean butt kiss, folks. You have to assign things meaning for it to actually have meaning. I mean, I guarantee you there's people out there that've got like some little Buddha statue or some sort of weird mess in their living room because it looks colorful or it looks what have you. It has nothing to do with their life. So, like, no, they're not like worshiping Buddha. It means nothing, folks. It just means nothing. That's the point. It means nothing. So do all the tinsel and all the stupid trees you want. And pretend Jeremiah didn't write what he wrote. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. It's the same way I don't care about Halloween. It doesn't have any satanic meaning to me because I don't assign it that satanic meaning. When I put up a scary mask in the window, it's like, yeah, it's a scary mask in the window. I'm not bowing to Lucifer, to Baal. I'm not doing burnt offerings in the backyard. I'm not sacrificing children in the front yard. I mean, that's all just horseshit. So how can you better navigate the holiday hell, mind you? Well, here's a big one. Putting yourself first. That would be one. Because the Christmas holiday is really predicated on spending. Because most people don't give a rat's backside about the Christendom part of it. That's why they don't care about the Jeremiah mentions. They don't care about the occult. They don't care about the pagan. It's not about any of that, folks. Stop pretending we're a Christian nation. We're not. Okay? I know it was mentioned that we were a Christian nation in the 1800s. I had this pulled up too. Let's see if we can pull it up. Because someone's not going to believe me. Oh, my heavens. I have so much funny clips to show you. Goodness. Where the freak was it? There we go. Supreme Court, 1892. Church of the Holy Trinity versus United States. That's where we were at least somewhat given the green light that we're a Christian nation, but we're not. So don't fake the funk like we are, man. Like don't do that thing where you show up to church like twice a year, drunk and hungover, and you just go to get the communion or whatever, but you still proclaim yourself a Christian. That doesn't mean jack. I mean, going to church doesn't make you a Christian either. That doesn't mean jack either, but just so you know. Back to this. What can we do to navigate this? Well, focus on yourself. That's number one. Don't buy into the BS. That'd be number two. Don't buy into the holiday hoopla that they've thrust upon you, that you must conform to this norm or you are not part of the club. So I would suggest if you were to focus more on yourself and less on people that just aren't important in your life. So the holidays are a big one because, again, it's just a norm that has been molded that we're supposed to give a rat's about random people that really aren't family, but somehow by blood, they're classified as family or by marriage or what have you. So it's this whole process of like, how much can we kiss the rump of these people that are not important? They're not in our lives at all. So instead, I would suggest just going out and I always mention like the checkout person because I'm closer to the checkout person at my local convenience store than I am family. So go invite a checkout person over for Christmas. If you go to the bank a lot, you do a lot of banking, hey, invite that person. Hey, we're doing a little family thing. You want to come over? That's fine. I'd say your immediate family is important as long as they haven't crossed the Rubicon in some way. But there's so much just extra that's not. So much BS that is just sort of this contrived what we're supposed to do. But you have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, but why? Why should we just continue doing this BS that we're just supposed to do when it's just meaningless? Again, going back to this notion of assigning and ascribing meaning to the meaningless. If you see people twice a year, they're not family. They're acquaintance at best. If you talk to people twice a year, they're not your friends. They're acquaintance at best. So stop playing the game, folks. Stop BSing around. And back to what I mentioned at the very beginning, I think I can't remember the show, but I mentioned this at the very beginning of this show that I was listening to someone and they were making such great points, and then they pulled this one out of their rectum. And I thought, oh, goodness, what a moronic thing to say. It was basically saying that you should still hold on to these friends, even if they have become diametrically opposed to everything that is you. And they were mentioning this horse manure of people that quit talking to people during the COVID hoax or quit talking to people during the election and blah, 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 blah. And the premise was, well, you should still hold on to these friendships. You should still hold on to these people just because they haven't figured things out yet. That doesn't mean you should just throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm not believing that, folks. I'm sorry. Because 9 times out of 10, these are not just innocuous little people that are just, oh, I'm just going to disagree with you. I'm just going to disagree with you. No, that's not ever how this works, ladies and gentlemen. These are the people that would turn you in to the feds. These are the people that would not let you in their house. These are the people that wouldn't talk to you without a mask. These are the people that wouldn't receive gifts from you. They wouldn't invite you over. They were afraid to have you at funerals, weddings, and everything in between. So why would you waste your time? That's the real question. Why? I'm on the other side of that fence, folks. I'm on the side of the fence that says, hey, if you haven't talked to somebody in a year or so, they're not your friend anymore. I don't care if they're family or not. If these same people are diametrically opposed to everything that is you, why would you waste your time with these people any further? Just stop. Because the time that we have on this earth is very finite. People think that you're just given numerous lives on this earth, that you just wake up each day and it's just another day. I got to go. It's another day. Yo, it's not, folks. Every day on this planet's a blessing. And your time is valuable. So don't waste your time with people that don't deserve your time. Why would you waste your time with people that are diametrically opposed to everything that is you? That doesn't make sense. That's stupid. So you're a Christian, you're going to hang out with a bunch of Muslims and Hare Krishnas. Why exactly? Because you agree with everything? Because you shouldn't agree with darn near anything. It just doesn't make sense. If you're conservative, you're going to hang out with a bunch of communists and fruit bats. And why exactly? Why would you do that? That's stupid. Your time is valuable. Your air is valuable. The essence that is you is valuable. And I've said this before, folks, but if you put a low price on yourself and your time, then no one's going to raise it. So weed your gardens. It's a perfect time. It's the holiday season. Weed your gardens. Don't waste your time with mess that shouldn't be around. And I'm not defining what that means to you. You might be a commie fruit bat and love hanging out with commie fruit bats. Awesome. Do it. But I am saying, take a hard look at who's in your life and who's not. If there's a lot of casualty vampires in there, a lot of those soul stealers, a lot of those people that just take up air, or should I say take the air out of the room, these people that are always griping, always complaining, these are the vampires that you don't need in your life. These are the negative Nellies that are always bringing it down. Get away from them. I'm going to cover this. I'm going to do a whole show on this because I keep thinking about this and then I'll forget for 3 weeks or 3 months or whatever. But we need to do a whole show on people having their individual constitution. Writing this down. Like, what does it mean to be you? What are the things you will and will not tolerate? Because I think we all need to make some real rules, some lines in the sand. It's a very good thing to do at the holiday season. Hopefully you have more time. Because here's another big waste of time in the holidays. Buying gifts for people. Why? I, for one, don't want to gift from anybody. And more to the point, I don't want to buy any for anyone either. It's a big waste of time, folks. Why don't we just all get together and spend time together? And we do this under this asinine, hilarious, joke level auspice that we're somehow mirroring the three wise men. They were the three magi. They were three sorcerers, folks. In case you missed that. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They were important for a reason. Probably not the reasons you think. So, this is why we're giving and exchanging gifts. Is that it, folks? Okay. So, if that's it, then everybody gets 3 gifts. And if you want to give me some gold, frankincense, and myrrh, I'm all for it. Especially the gold. But the frankincense and myrrh are pretty pricey too, in case you haven't checked. More to the point, we got to stop urinating away our resources on this nonsense. If you want to spend time together as a family, great. Invite everybody over. Everybody just spends time together. Sit in the same room together, turn the TV off, shut the phones off, and just talk. That's what we need more of, folks. Hablando. Talking. Sharing. Caring. Telling old stories. What's that good Christmas song where it talks about telling ghost stories? And everybody's like, what the? We don't tell ghost stories at Christmas. We sit around and play with our phones. We sit around and show people stupid internet videos. We sit around and watch sports. We sit around and watch moronic holiday movies that we've seen 1,000,001 times before. That's another joke of the holiday season. It's nostalgia bait. The entire holiday is nostalgia bait. Because most people are going to watch really old movies because those are the last movies that were any good. And you want to watch holiday movies because in the movies, things are better than they are in your real life. And you want to watch movies that you've seen over and over again because you know how it's going to end. You know it's going to roll with the credits and everybody's smiling at the end. And that ain't real life at all. In real life, people are barely living paycheck to paycheck. People are about to get kicked out of the house. People are about to lose their car. People are about to do a lot of stuff. But don't worry, you're a Scrooge if you don't buy people crap at Christmas. And more to the point, you got to get a bunch of food and be a gluttonous piece of trash. You got to get a bunch of GMO. That's another big one. People never want to talk about this one. Because Christmas is always like the cheap meal of cheap meals. Well, it's Christmas. I'm going to have some GMO. Well, it's Christmas. I'm going to have some extra cookies. Well, it's Christmas. I'm going to be a big fat piece of trash by the end of it. And another joke of the holiday season is people are always sicker after Christmas. I wonder why, John. Because they've carb loaded, a.k.a. sugar loaded, for about a month. They've eaten crap they don't typically eat, and their body's going, what the hey is this? You've destroyed my immune system with sugar, and you've given me a bunch of other garbage I don't want. Bunch of GMO crap. That's what's been going on at Christmas. So people end up sick by the end of it, just in time for the new year to arise. A big drunk piece of trash holiday where we get to sit around and watch a ball drop. where we get to sit around and watch a bunch of degenerate filth on TV, and then a bunch of has-been degenerate filth on TV. That's what the New Year's Eve has really become. I quit watching about 5-6 years ago when Megan Thee Stallion was on. That was about the bottom of the barrel for me, so I haven't seen any of the new stuff. I believe Duran Duran was on a couple years back. I don't really recall. I have a certain spot in my heart for the holidays, and I think you know where it is. So, after everybody's gotten liquored up and sugared up and a big fat piece of trash, and they're sick by the end of it all, they've wasted a bunch of money they don't have on a bunch of people that don't matter and they don't care about. And don't forget, they busted the bank on the food too, just so they can impress everybody. That's another biggie of the holiday season. It's impressing people. We've got to clean the house. We've got to do the yard. We've got to put the lights out. We've got to put the tree up. We've got to put the ornaments out. We've got to put all the nice china out. We've got to put all the towels out. It's this big impressing. Who exactly? Who is it we're impressing with this? Because don't forget, this is all under the auspice of the birth of Christ. More lies from the holiday season. That's what this is all about. It's lies. The holiday season is about lying to yourself and believing it, which I guess is why Americans do it so well, because they keep believing the hype. So, John, how might we navigate this eternal suffering here that we seem to be in at the holiday season? Number one, focus on yourself. Number two, you don't have to get a bunch of GMO-laden crap and eat it for the holiday season. You can eat what you normally eat. Number three, you can invite whoever you want over and not a bunch of people that you don't give a rat's about. Wouldn't that be nice? That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? And you can go and do exactly what you want to do on the holidays. Check the obligations at the door. Because everyone feels extra obligated at the holidays, don't they? Well, you know, I don't really know cousin Sue, Jane, Bob, Dan, Steve, but it's Christmas, so we're going to get them a gift, and we're going to send them a card, and we're going to invite them over, and blah, 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 blah. So it's this perpetual indebtedness. This is perpetual obligation cycle. That's really what the holiday is about. Gifts, the food, the decorations, the house cleaning, and all this spick and span nature for people that aren't you. The normal day, the people in the house that actually matter, the normal day, they just trudge along in a normal house without the frills, without the fine china, without the good towels, without the special food and anything else. But when it comes to everyone else, well, now it's time to break the bank and do what for who exactly? Oh, it's por Jesus, right? It's por Dios. I don't think so, folks. Don't think so at all. So this is your holiday, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the holiday season. How to navigate it, I think we've kind of aptly covered it. It's that old song by, what the heck is it? Is it, I think it's Faith, the band Faith. I believe the song is called Slow Down. Slow down, so they say in the song. And this is something we could take away, not just for this holiday season, but for all the year long. Because the American society is really predicated on speeding people up. If you look at the traffic in the mornings on the freeways, you look at the people just about to bust a gut to get into work because I don't want to be 30 seconds late. Oh, I got to be there early. And you look at people just rushing to this meeting and rushing to that. Oh my gosh, I'm going to be late to the house. Oh, I'm going to be late for dinner. I'm late for breakfast and all this mess. Rush, 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 rush. What do you think might be the point of all this rushing, folks? Because after all, time is nothing more than a construct. Some made up stuff, folks. Short of the sun rising and falling, it's all just a bunch of horse manure. What are we in, like daylight savings time or some joke level horse manure now? So that's really what's up, folks. We got to stop this mess. We got to slow down. But the reason that people live in this perpetual state of haste, it's not coincidental. It's by design. It's so that you will be perpetually rushing everywhere you go and you will not actually be thinking about anything. That's why when people actually get some time and quiet, then you hear all this other made up mess. Well, I've got sleeping problems. I've got sleep. Well, you know what? You don't have sleeping problems. You've got life problems. And the only time that it's quiet and dark enough for you to think about them is when you're supposed to be sleeping. So during that short little phase of your life, when you should be sleeping, you're actually trying to rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic and figure out what in the bleep is going on here. Why does it all seem like a bunch of lies? Why does everything seem like an illusion, a hologram, a scam, a hustle, a con, and a dodge? Why? That's the bigger issue, folks. These are the topics that people should be talking about at Christmas. These are those spooky topics that you're not supposed to talk about, right? You don't talk about religion and politics. Well, I can't think of anything better to talk about than religion and politics. Because I can tell you what I'm not going to talk about. Sports, the Netflix show that I'm not watching, or maybe some sugary, sweet, shallow into the pool political topic. Oh, did you hear about that shooting? Oh, yeah, that looked real. That looked real, all right. They had a bloody crisis actor and everything. It was real. It was an attack on the Jews, I tell you. It was the Jews being attacked again. I love this, folks, because I don't think I've ever seen this much Hanukkah inundation in the last 48 hours as I have this year. Again, allegedly, 1892, we were deemed a Christian nation, in case you didn't already know that. But you wouldn't know that because, I mean, every sporting event's got a Hanukkah just breaking the backs to show you Hanukkah crap. You had J.D. Vance doing another humiliation ritual, lighting some Hanukkah at the White House last night. Who was that other moron? Was it Huckabee? I think so. I can't, whatever the ambassador boob to Israel is that just can't get enough. I don't know if it was his wife or just some sort of specter in drag that was lighting some menorahs yesterday too. That was more a buzz on social media, and I was just like, yawn, couldn't care less. Another false flag, another fake shooting, some more crisis actors. Oh, geez. You got Australia like lighting up the place in Israeli flags. You got BB coming out saying, the U.S. was nothing without Israel. I can't do a BB voice, pardon me. You know, this would be the things that you probably should talk about, but you won't, because you'll be talking about your Netflix show or the game you're watching. Who's got the most touchdowns? Who's going to win the stupid bowl? That's the stuff you should be talking about, but you won't. But we need to slow down. That's another sort of second rung of this ladder here. Focus on yourself and slow down. You don't have to put all these other people first. They're not first. You're first. It's like the thing they always tell you on the plane. Put your mask on as the plane's descending into the depths of hell. And then if you're not dead and your person next to you is not dead, then you can help them put their mask on. And that's really how life should be, folks, because, you know, as a mother, as a father, grandmother, whatever you want to call yourself, whatever you identify as, you can't be jack bleep to your family if you're sitting there worried about what Aunt Sally's thinking or what Uncle Jeb's going to say about this. Oh, I wonder is Grandma going to approve what we talk about this year? Oh, is great-grandpappy Smith going to be upset that we don't have yams on the table? I mean, this is a kind of trivial horse patoot that the general public's got to deal with at the holiday season. That's why I say flush the entire season down the toilet. And I know it's going to draw ire from people. Oh, it's not a very Christian thing to do, John. Okay, it's fine. Doesn't bother me a bit. I ain't losing sleep at all. I sleep just fine, actually. So we need time to focus, folks. We got to slow things down. We got to focus on ourselves. And we got to just stay away from the divisive manure pile. Because I know somebody's going to say, well, you're being divisive too, John. You're talking about the greatest ally. You know? Yeah, I'm going to tell you the obvious things on the radar. Okay? If you're going to view that as divisive, then so be it. I don't care. It's called pattern recognition. It's called noticing. It's called noticing who's contributing to the greatest amount of violent crimes in the U.S. It's called noticing what cultural elements in this country are the most violent. It's called understanding what the biggest percentage of EBT and free goodies recipients are. You can call it whatever you want to. I'm just showing you the answers to the questions. So if that's causing division, maybe you need to check yourself. Because this reality, and reality can be a cold bird, man. Reality is not like a Hallmark movie. It ain't going to be over in an hour and a half and everybody smiles in the end and we holding hands. We'll snuggle on the couch. We'll sing some kumbaya. No, that's not reality, folks. We're trying to navigate the holiday hell here. We're not going to BS you. We're not going to lie to you. Goodness gracious. Excuse me, about to blow my nose. Try not to sneeze on camera. It's tough sometimes. So this should be the time where you circle the wagons, you know? You really circle the wagons within your own family. Kick out the interlopers, kick out the problem causers, pick out the casualty vampires and kick them out too. And keep in the family unit the people that are contributing and bringing something of wealth to the family table. And I'm not talking about monetarily. I was talking about this in my family just the other night. I mean, there's so many people that just sort of get swept under the rug once they sort of get to a certain age, because it's like, oh, well, they don't know anything anymore. They're just dumb old people. You need the old people, the ones that are actually smart, that is. Another common misconception is that people get wiser with age. Not always true, folks. Sometimes, rarely, but not always. So if you can find some wise old people and then bring them to the table, they are bringing knowledge to your life. They're bringing something to your table. Kick the junkies, kick the drunks, kick the trannies, the whatever else on out of the table. See ya. Go sit at your own table, out in the yard preferably. Maybe in the middle of the road would be preferable. Within the family unit, we need to circle the wagons and keep those people that are bringing something to the table in the fold. It's exactly what the holiday should be about. Adding to the experience of life, not taking away from it. So these are all key elements that we need to do to survive this holiday hell. Don't eat the GMO. There's no need to overeat. There's no need to eat nothing but trash unless you want to get sick and have a bellyache for a couple of days. That's stupid. You don't need to spend all this money on gifts. Spend the money where it needs to be, within the family, within the house. Spending all this money on nonsense is just that, nonsense. Here's a bunch of crud we get to take back. Oh, boy. Why? Just sit around the house and talk. Invite the family that matters over. Hey, let's have a little meal. Nothing fancy. Everybody can bring something, or we'll get takeout. We'll order takeout and just have a good time. We'll sit around and we'll talk. We don't just need to spend $1,000 on gifts. We don't need to spend all this money. We don't need to spend time with people you don't give a rat's about. It's a sham, folks. It's a con and a hustle and a dodge. And people want to keep living up to this expectation. The expectation of how Christmas used to be. That's the memory that haunts a lot of people. That's the spooky specter in the closet. I got to say, it haunts me. I live in what I wish Christmas still was. But that Christmas hasn't existed for like 30 years. It's gone. Usually when the grandparents die, the Christmas dies. So don't live in the specter of Christmas past. That mess is gone. Don't worry about it. You can bring something new to the table. You don't have to keep trying to prop up Christmas past. You don't have to keep bringing in people that, used to be important but just aren't anymore. You don't have to keep inviting people that have no desire to be in the family in the first place. Why? Stop it. People are propping up a vestige that goes to Christmas past. They're propping up this vestige. It's not there anymore. And that's okay. I'm a horrible person when it comes to change, but I'm trying to come to grips with that too. So everything I'm telling you, I'm also trying to take my own advice here. I love cheese wafers. I could eat those suckers by the container. And I could also end up with a bellyache for 2 days. So it's always something you got to work on within yourself. So don't take it as me coming down on you like I got all the answers, folks. I'm trying to figure this whole life thing out too. I'm trying to navigate the holiday hell. Where do you think this came from? The graphic came from me. The show information came from me. I'm trying to figure this out too. And we got to lean on people sometimes. Lean on people that know more than you. Sometimes there are people that are younger than you that know more than you. Occasionally there's people older than you that know more than you too. So don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to compliment people either. All the things that I've talked about holidays being a bunch of garbage about, here's the things that should matter at the holidays. Being with those few people that actually do matter. Telling people nice things. That's another good one. You can just can all the gifts, but you need to tell people the nice things that you perhaps don't. Because this is a one-ride deal, folks. You ain't got multiple lives on your game. You might think you do, but you don't. So if there's a loved one that you want to tell something to this year, is the year to do it. Let the people know that matter, that they matter. Circle the wagons, tighten the circle, get all the interlopers and just foul players out. And let the people know, like, yo, man, I really appreciate you coming to this. I just wanted to get together this year, hang out, tell some old stories, talk about politics and religion, just enjoy hanging out. That's what you need to do this year. Don't forget those people that are sometimes left out in the cold. There's some homeless people out there, folks. I ain't suggesting you open the door to all of them. But you never know who in your friend group or distant friend group is not doing so well. This occurred when I talked to somebody over Thanksgiving. I had no idea that this person was in dire straits. I don't think I could offer much, but I did offer some context that probably could. So I don't know what happened in that regard, but I'm saying don't forget those people, okay? And if people have learned nothing since the COVID hoax, which really just served as a mechanism to ramp up the mental illness, but if people have learned nothing, folks, over the last 10 years, is that the United States has a huge mental health problem. I'm a huge fan of isolationism, being I want to be in with my people, my immediate family. I don't want to have interlopers in. I don't want to have just random guest stars showing up. I don't want to have a bunch of just mess coming into my territory. Huge isolationist. I aspire to be full shut-in at one point in the game because I don't want to be out and about with this mess. But one thing we got to figure out here, folks, is there's a lot of crazy people out there. And the holidays is their time to shine. Their time to shine is, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to do a death by cop. I'm going to kill somebody else and myself. This is hitting way too close to home, but I'm not even going to get into that. What I am going to say is that there's a lot of crazy people out there. There's a lot of people with mental health problems out there. So I would suggest staying away from most everybody that's not in your immediate circle. But I will say this. I'll throw this caveat out there too. I'm also going to say you definitely need to reach out to people. I'm trying to do a better job because for years I would just delete people from my life. This was way before phones. I would just erase people, tear people out of the address book back in the day. I used to do that on New Year's. I'd go through the address book and I'd say, yo, is Steve, Sally, and whatever talk to me this year? Heck no. You're gone. You're dead to me. So I'm not saying that's a bad idea. That's probably a good idea. But before you tear those pages out on January 1st, here's a thing you could do. Try to reach out to some of those folks that you haven't talked to in 3-4 months. People that you hadn't talked to in a year, they're not your friends. Forget about them. But the people you hadn't talked to on the shallow end of that, shoot them a line. Give them a call. Shoot them a text. Just send a nice message. And just say, how are you? Because a lot of people will be frank with you when you ask them a poignant question. And you might be able to help somebody that's not doing so well. You might be able to help somebody that's kind of on the down and outs, that might be contemplating doing something crazy. I know it sounds silly, And it might be, but you never know. Just reaching out to somebody saying, hey, how's it going? Hadn't talked to you in a while. What's going on? Just that small little interaction could be something that saves somebody's life. Could be something that keeps somebody from doing something crazy. Because at the holidays, it's very easy to go out there and just think, man, I don't have jack. I don't have butkus. And one of the major reasons of that is because of the social media and also because of the movies and the television. Everybody expects their life to look like a Hallmark movie. Everybody expects their life to look like whatever. Oh, it's a family classic. We always watch this every year. Yeah. And it's not like that. It's not. Just as we should know by now that social media is not what it seems. I mean, you got dudes in drag on there with all kinds of filters on looking like the hottest thing in the world. You got women that are as ugly as a fence post. They got the right filter. They got 5 hours worth of makeup and they look like the hottest thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? You could put me out there in a dress with a filter. I might look hot. I'm just saying it's crazy out there. So the world that we see online is a bunch of B to the S, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's that perfect. Nobody's living that good time all the time. Most of the time, people are not going to post about stuff that stinks in their life. They're not going to post about having to get new tires. They're not going to post about the hot water heater going out. They're not going to post about a plumber having to come by because something fouled up in the bathroom. So try to take it all with a grain of salt. Try not to forget the people that matter. And those people that don't matter, forget about them. You got some people you ain't talked to in about 6 months, call them up. Shoot them a line. Say, just thinking about you. How are you? Don't live in the shadow of Christmas past. That's dead. It's gone. It's not coming back. Those family members that are gone, they ain't coming back either. The way Christmas used to be, it ain't happening. We ain't doing nothing but getting another year older. So I think that's about all I got to say about navigating the holiday hell. Put yourself first. Don't follow all the trends just because you think you need to. Kick all those interlopers out of your circle. Focus on the people that are in your circle. Reach out to those people that still matter. Circle the wagons and tear those names out of the address book about January 1st. I think so. And you don't have to keep being friends with people that you used to. That's another one I want to talk about too, man. You don't have to keep being friends with people that are just opposed to everything you are. Why would you waste your time? Times change. Seasons change. People change. There's a reason I'm not friends with people I was 10 years ago. There's a reason I ain't friends with people I was 20 years ago. I've grown and expanded and moved on. I'm not going to try to help people out anymore with that mess. Never forget one story, and I got to go. Never forget, during the first Barry Soetoro regime, I was trying to shed a little light on this subject for some people. It was kind of one of those things. I always talk about it, but I can remember when I first started skating, like skating was my world. I love skating. I talked about skating. I watched skating videos. I watched skating television. I read skating magazines. I remember finding an old 70s book of skateboarding poems. I had to do a like middle school poem thing. I pulled this one out, you know. But that's how it is when you feel so excited about something. You're so charged about whatever that is, you know. You have passion for it. And it's hard because you want to share your insights and you want to share your knowledge with the whole world. But most of the world don't want to hear it, man. They don't want to hear it because it disrupts their worldview. It forces them to evaluate their worldview. And this past year should have shaken everybody's little snow globe up and forced a lot of evaluation, reflection, introspection, but it hasn't. So it should have made people go, hey, why are these people our greatest ally? Hey, what happened with that 9/11 thing? What do you think about JFK, RFK, MLK, too? All those people that I always tell you getting killed. What do you think about this COVID scam? What do you think about January 6th? It should have caused everybody to question the answers. How could we have landed on the moon? Who was filming the takeoff? Who was filming the landing? How is that possible when I can't even get reception in some parts of my own state right now? But it doesn't cause people to question, folks. And the same passion that you have about information that I once had about skateboarding, the rest of the world doesn't share that. So you can't very well help people that don't want to be helped. So why would you waste your time dealing with those people at the holidays? Why would you invite them to your table, invite them in your home? It's a threshold for a reason. It's supposed to keep things out and keep things in. It is your own little private gate. And there's something to all those monster movies where you can't let Dracula in without the invitation. It's got to be invited. It's the same thing in your home. You need to be the gatekeeper. You need to be the one figuring out if these people are worthy of coming in or not. Are they going to disrupt the homeostasis in your environment? Are they going to be a negative influence on your kids? They're going to negative influence you. They're going to have you talking a certain way, doing a certain way, have you drinking, smoking, gambling, whatever your addiction might be. Are they going to have you doing that again? If so, get them that app out of there. You don't need that stuff, folks. You need to reflect and focus on thyself. Try to figure things out in your own mind. That's what you really need to do this holiday season. You won't, but it's what you should do. I don't know if I'm going to come at you live on Thursday or not. Tomorrow is my birthday, and I don't plan on doing any show prep for Thursday tomorrow. So if I get up somehow on Thursday and have a wild hair and just want to throw out some more great information, then we'll do a live show. If not, I have a definite show from, I don't know, like 2 years ago. 'Tis the season for tyranny. We might play that one again. We'll see. Anyway, always a pleasure to talk with you. Always a pleasure to be invited into your sphere, into your global living room, if you will, into your phone, into your pod, into your pad, into your television. So thanks, folks. Thanks for putting up with me. I am far from perfect. I'm just giving you my perspective. You can't do everything, but you can do something. Be safe out there. I'll be seeing you sooner than later in the Anomic Age.
Thank you for listening to The Anomic Age, a John Age project. For past shows, further info, and to comment, go to anomicage.com. That's ANOMICAGE.com. Till next time, thank you for listening to The Anomic Age.